Hi, today using the professional 550 Plus KitchenAid, which I purchased from Costco, I will be making some drop biscuits. The biscuits will be made with cheddar, jalapeno, and bacon. So today I'll be using the beater attachment that has the rubber spatula to it on the edge. So before making your biscuits, make sure you preheat your oven to 450 degrees. The mixing of ingredients is going to be very quick, so you want to make sure that you get the oven preheated in advance. So to the bowl, I'm going to add the dry ingredients. So that'll be 1 cup of flour, along with 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Next, we'll add 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Also, 1 teaspoon of onion powder. We want to raise the bowl. Enter the mixer to just the stir setting. Next, I'll add 2 strips of chopped bacon. Next, I'll add about 1/2 cup of chopped jalapeno peppers.
Then, we'll add 1/4 cup of melted butter.
We'll increase the stirring speed to 2, and as it's mixing, we'll add 1/2 cup of grated cheese. We'll reduce the speed to check the consistency, and we can see that we have a nice breadcrumb type consistency of our mixture. Next, we'll go ahead and turn it back on to a stir setting so we can go ahead and add our milk. Now, I could measure the milk, but I'd like to pour it in straight into the mixer as it's mixing so that I can see the texture as it's going. So I slowly add the milk. And these are going to be drop biscuits, which means I really want kind of a wet type batter. I'll slowly add until I get the right consistency, approximately 1/2 cup. Once I have the consistency I like, I'm going to let the beater do its work and work the dough for about another minute to 2 minutes approximately. While the batter mixes, I'm going to go ahead and get a bowl with about 1/4 cup of flour and also my cookie sheet ready so we can bake our biscuits. Next, we'll go ahead and lower the bowl. For this type of wet dough, you can see that the batter does stick to the sides of the bowl, but I've found out that this rubber spatula works really nicely to kind of clean up the sides of the bowl. It contours to the side of the bowl in such a way that you can really scoop and grab all your batter without having to use any extra spatulas and kind of get it centered into your bowl. Next, we're going to grab 1 spoonful at a time, and we're going to actually drop it right onto the flour, giving it a little coating. Be generous with your flour so that it doesn't stick to your fingers, and simply place it on your cookie sheet. We'll do that with the rest of them. Once you've arranged your biscuits in the cookie sheet, you want to go ahead and place them in the oven. Very important, do not put these biscuits in your oven until it's been preheated to 450 degrees. Very important. Set your timer for 12 minutes. Do not open the oven until after 12 minutes. Then you can check for the biscuits, and you should have a nice golden brown color to them. If you open it sooner than that, you run the risk of flattening out those biscuits because they have such a wet batter. Alright, so it's been 12 minutes, so now we can go ahead and take a look and see if they are quite ready. Wow, so feel all that steam coming out of the oven. So we'll wait for that to subside a bit here, and we'll take a look and see what they're beginning to look like. And as you can see, they're beginning to get nice and golden brown. I'm going to give them about another minute or so, and then we'll go ahead and pull them out. Alright, after 1 minute additional, take a look at the biscuits here, and it looks like, in terms of the color, they look just about right, because they'll be perfect in the center. Looks like these guys are done, and we'll let them cool off just for a few minutes. Lather on some butter, and go ahead and enjoy. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoy this recipe. Thanks.